Hey guys, welcome to lesson 76. Don't forget today you're just doing odd problems so you can have time to work on your rough draft of your infographic for English, okay? Your motto for math should be, don't let it scare you, okay? Because honestly, these concepts today may look a little crazy. There's two distinct concepts that you're looking at right now, which reminds me I need my calculator that I have to find. Okay, so the first concept though, look, you have experience in what they're showing you on page 303, this thing right here. If you see this, you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. I can do that by substitution or elimination. That's when you're finding an x and a y. If you're finding two variables, the x and the y, you need two equations to help you to find both the x and the y. If you only need to find x, you only need one equation to help you. If you want to find three variables, x, y, and z, you need three equations to help you, okay? So don't let it confuse you or scare you when you're like, oh great, now there's three equations, now we need to find a z, how are we gonna do that? It's not as hard as it looks. Sometimes it can get a little tricky, but they're gonna obviously start you out where it doesn't get tricky yet. Thankfully, they were really nice this time and they gave you this beautiful one right there, that x directly equals 2y. So what am I going to do with that? I'm going to cross out all my x's and make them 2y. So that for right now, I can act like I'm really only trying to find y and z. And at the very end, find the x, right? So I'm going to rewrite these equations. 2y plus y is 3y, plus z equals 9. 2y minus 3y is a negative y, minus 2z equals negative 8, okay? And now, I'm going to either substitute or eliminate to find a y and a z. I'm going to use elimination because I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 3. So I can eliminate these y's right here because I have a 3y and a negative y, right? So I'm going to make this negative 3y, negative 6z, and never forget to distribute over here because it's the easiest thing to do to forget, and a negative 24 over there. So now I can eliminate. These are gone. I have z minus 6z, so that's negative 5z, equals 9 minus a 24 is going to give you a negative 15. So automatically we know that z equals what? 3. Okay, well if z equals 3, we're going to check our book and make sure that we're on the right track here. Good. Now I'm going to use this equation here to find y, now that I know what z is. 3y plus 3 equals 9, right? Move my 3, that's 6. 3y equals 6, so y equals 2. Y equals 2, z equals 3, and now I can use that y to get my x. 2. So x equals 4. And now I'm going to use this one right here, x plus y plus z equals 9, to check it. X is 4, y is 2, 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So I know I got them all right, even without looking in the book. Okay, let's look at example 2. Okay, we remember our motto, don't let it scare you. Look at this problem and see where you think you want to start. Okay, even though there's not a direct substitution that we can do, we can make a direct substitution very quickly with this thing right here. X minus 3z equals 0. I'm going to rewrite that and make it x equals 3z. Okay? Let's move this over here. And then I'm going to substitute. If x equals 3z, then 2 times 3z is 6z. And 3 times 3z is 9z. And then I'll rewrite my equations. 6z minus z is going to be 5z. Plus 2y equals 12. And then 9z plus 2z is 11z minus y equals 21. Now I'm going to use elimination because I want to eliminate my y's here now that we already have a negative. So I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 2. That's going to become 22z minus 2y equals 42. Don't forget to multiply 2 over here on this side of the equal sign. It's super easy to forget. Okay, now I can eliminate my y's, and now I have 27. I'm going to write it over here so we can see 27z equals 4. 54. So obviously z is going to equal 2. If z equals 2, I'm automatically going to go over here and make this 2 times 3, 6, so x equals 6. And I'm just going to move this z over here to get my y. 5 times 2 plus 2y equals 12. 10 plus 2y equals 12 minus 10 is 2, so y equals 1. 1 is y, z is 2, x is 6. I'm going to plug it in here in my head just to make sure I got it right. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 2 times 1 is 2, so 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 minus 2 is 12, so we know we got it right. Okay? Now we have to move on to a completely different concept before we do the practice. Look at example 3. Okay, for example 3, let's keep our motto. Don't let it scare you. Look at it for a second and decide what you would do to start this problem. Okay, I'm going to show you something that's crazy about this negative right here, okay? We know this negative, we've already learned it, right? We look at this negative right here and we say it's negative 20, so we're going to go down 20, right? Okay, but then you're like, well, how do I make a negative 4? That doesn't make any sense that we're going to say that that measurement is a negative 4, right? You don't say that. Crazy enough. When you see a negative 4 here for the magnitude of this hypotenuse, you literally have to take what you just wrote and you need to push it off to the opposite side so that it becomes positive 4. Okay, so let me go over those steps again. You look at the negative here and you go down 20. But this line right here, it doesn't exist. You have to put it opposite quadrants to make this a positive 4 because it's a negative 4 and that's impossible to have a negative magnitude, a negative measurement. So, this doesn't exist and you have it over here. Okay, how do you do that in your head? Well, you look at it. This is negative, you go down negative in your head, but you have to push it into the opposite quadrant because this is negative and make it positive. Boom. Okay? Don't let it scare you. Then you have this one, it's 135. 135 is also going to be over here, right? 180 minus 135. 45 goes right there, and this is 5. Okay, so now we are ready to add. I'm going to write my things right here. We have U and R, U and R. My R is going to be cosine 20 equals R over 4. My U is going to be sine 20 equals U over 4. Over here it's going to be cosine R equals cosine R, great. Cosine 45 equals R over 5. Sine 45 equals U over 5. We find all of our stuff. This one's going to be 4 times cosine 20. 3.75, I'm going to start writing it here. That's going to be a negative 3.75R because it's over to the left. Plus the U is 4 times sine 20. That one's going up, so it's going to be 1.37U. Over here we have 5 times cosine 45. That's a negative 3.54R because it's also going to the left, plus 5 times sine 45, which is 3.54U positive. And now we just add this up. You can still see, okay, good. Negative 3.75 minus 3.54 is going to be a negative 7.29R. And 1.37 plus 3.54 is going to give you a 4.91U. Okay? And they left it in that form, which is beautiful. We also know what to do if they want it in the different form. but they left it in that form, so will we. Okay? If you're checking an answer and you see that it's in a different form, just put it into a different form, right? If they tell you what form to do it in, then you have to do it in that form. But if they don't tell you what form to do it in, then I guess they're going to accept whatever form you want to use, okay? So that's a good liberty to have there. Go ahead and do your practice, and I'll come back and tell you your answer. Okay, guys, your answer to letter A is X is 33, Y is 11, Z is 12. How do we get that? I use this to put it in for X, so I wrote this. When I substituted it in, I did that in my head, so I did 4Y plus Z equals 56, then Y minus 3Z equals negative 25. I multiplied the top equation by 3 to get 12Y plus 3Z plus equals 168 to eliminate the Z's. So I did 12Y and 1Y is 13Y equals 143, so Y equals 11. Substituted it back into the second equation. 11 minus 3Z equals negative 25, and found Z was 12. Put the Y back into here for X, which was 3 times 11, which is 33, and then I checked it with this one. X plus Y plus Z should equal 56, and it does. Over here, it's a negative 15, so it should be over here, but it's also a negative 2, so you put it over here. And then I set it up like always, cosine 15 equals R over 2, sine 15 equals U over 2. Over here, it's 110, 180 minus 110 is 70, so it's cosine 70 equals R over 5, sine 70 equals U over 5. The R's are going to come out negatives because they're both going to the left. The U's are going to come out positives because they're both going up. We add those together and you get negative 3.64 R plus 5.2 U. If you guys have any questions, I am here to help. Have a great day. Don't forget, just odds.